Good morning, everyone, respected participants, scientists, students, friends, and all the members of this webinar, which is hosted by Center for Nanotechnology, College of Agricultural Engineering, University of Agri Sciences, Raichur, Karnataka. So we have successfully completed the day one, that is yesterday, with two speakers and with the inaugural address by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. K. N. Kattimani, sir. And we have yesterday good speakers from USA as well as one speaker from the Anton Par. And now today morning session, we have a wonderful topic on application of nanotechnology in food processing and packaging by Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam. He is a principal scientist, ICR Circuit, Mumbai. So he is going to address in the morning session. I heartily welcome Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam, sir, for this second day webinar on morning session. May I request Dr. Ramappa Keti to introduce and brief biodata of Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam.
Thank you, sir. So, respected Dean, College of Agricultural Engineering, and Organizing Secretary, Co-Organizing Secretary, respected key officers of University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. It is my immense pleasure and I really honored to introduce one of the eminent scientist and extension professional, Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam. So he is basically from Karnataka and completed his schoolings from Bangalore, and he did his undergraduation that is BTech Agriculture Engineering from US Dharwad. So again, I feel very proud to say he is our alumni, and he has completed his BTech from College of Agriculture Engineering, Raichur. And he completed his master's from PAU Ludhiana in the year 1999. And again he completed his PhD from IRI New Delhi New Delhi in the area of agriculture processing, agriculture structure and process engineering. And he got his PDF from US in the area of nanotechnology and biopolymers in the year 2011 and 12. Coming to his professional experiences, he started his career as a scientist through ASRB in the year 2007 and got selected as scientist in the area of agriculture structure and process engineering. And again, he rose up to, he started his career in the ICR CFET, Central Institute of Post Harvest Engineering and Technology in the year 2007. He rose as a senior scientist in the area of agriculture structure and process engineering. And he also worked as principal scientist in the area of agriculture process engineering. And again, he was an interim head of the division of horticulture crop process engineering for 1 year. He worked in CFET from 2007 to 2017. Since 2017, he is working in ICR Circuit, so that is Central Institute for Research on Cotton Technology, Mumbai. So coming to his professional accomplishments and achievements, he has guided 8 MTech and MSc students, and he involved in the internship training for 3 months period so completed 3 number of internship training program for BTech students. And again, he conducted 44 number of 1 month duration training programs for BTech, BSc, MSc students. And he has published around 38 papers in renowned national and international journals, and he got as many as 24 awards, recognition, and fellowship in his professional career. He completed around 24 projects. He implemented 24 projects, and 3 are ongoing, and he succeeded in transforming 9 number of technologies for commercializations or for implementations to the farming community. And he also worked in the area of consultancy. So he involved in 8 number of consultancy services, and he has filed 2 patents, and he also succeeded in the equipments design, technology development, as well as process development of 13 numbers. And he also edited one book, and so he successfully written 19 number of book chapters. And so he also released 7 technical bulletins. And so he has invited for more than 10 number of lead paper presentation in the national and in the international arena. And so he conducted more than 50 he has attended conference as well as workshops, more than 50 conferences and workshops. And he successfully completed 10 number of entrepreneurship development training program, especially for implementation of the successful so that is a demonstration and training of successful technologies across the country. So this is what a brief introduction of renowned scientist and extension professional Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam. And I wholeheartedly thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Ramapaketi, for brief introduction of our scientist, Dr. Dattatreya M. Kadam sir, who is working as a principal scientist in ICR Sirkot, Mumbai. Now, I request Dr. Dattatreya Kadam sir for his presentation. Kadam sir, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sharan, and thank you, Dr. Ramapaketi, for a brief introduction. Not it is brief, it is a very extensive introduction you are given. I would like to just correct you. I joined in 2003 and not 2007, and I'm working as a principal scientist presently at ICR Sirkot, Mumbai. And welcome back to ICR Sirkot, Mumbai. I'm going to talk on this applications of nanotechnology in food processing and packaging. Already the speaker that organizer said that already yesterday one session has been completed, and many aspects nanotechnology might have covered and the basic aspect might have covered. But I am going to just give some of the brief background before talking about the food processing and packaging. So hope that will be better understanding for the listeners who may be joining today itself. Okay, and these topics we are going to talk and discuss, and hope there will be in a lot of new innovations, technologies are coming out nowadays, and those may be addressed in the future also. First of all, when we talk about the nanotechnology, we should know understand what is exactly nanotechnology. As I already said, many people nowadays, everyone knows what is the nanotechnology. But even though there is a requirement a little bit, the nanotechnology is the research and technology development at the atomic or molecular level in the length of the scale of approximately 1 to 100 nanometer range. First of all, we need to understand 1 to 100 nanometer range in the any dimensions, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3. Okay. In this case, any single dimension is meeting this target that can be considered as the nanotechnology. And we need to understand whether nanotechnology, we need to go for the less than 100 nanometers or not. It is based upon our requirement. We first need to understand. We may not be necessary to run behind the nanotechnology as less than 100 nanometers, then it will be nanotechnology. Okay, by definition, it is a nanotechnology. But we need to understand that nanotechnology is going to yield any benefit for us or not. If at 500 nanometers, it is any benefit is coming, then it is okay for us, not necessarily run behind the 100 nanometers. That we have to study and understand, and then we have to work with any aspect. If we want to thinking that only unless until the 100 nanometers or less will not comes, then this is not a nanotechnology or the product is not good. It is not like that. We need to understand what purpose we are going to develop and what ultimate target we are going to achieve. Based on that achievements, we have to see whether the range should be kept at what level and optimization, saturation level, and all we have to study. Based on that, optimized product can be taken and that can be used. And also the creating and using the structures, devices, and systems that have the novel properties and functions because of their small size. It is nanotechnology as spread in the many areas, and each and every area is using nanotechnology. And in that case, our area is different. We are talking about only the agriculture or food processing we are talking. Then n number of area it is already covered, and many are also using it, and many are not disclosing it also. Many are using, but they are not disclosing because they fear. Okay, and ability to control, it will be helpful for the ability to control and manipulate the atomic scale, and we can develop the products. I think these are the common pictures we normally see in the first class or second class in the anywhere, or maybe yesterday's nanotechnology introduction. This might have explained what is the range and what are the products comes under this category, and it will be easily understand how the minds come to our minds. That is it. Okay, nanotechnology may range. It will be the picture image is printed on our brain that will give the idea where we are and what exactly and what are the materials are they falling in this category. Similarly, there are the two types of nanotechnology happens. One is the natural things and one is the things man-made. Okay, one can see the ranges of the nano world and as well as the micro world. Okay, as I already said, we are really required to run behind the nano world, or we can also work on the micro world. That you have to decide as per your requirements. We may not be necessary to run for the only nano world, and we can work in the very better in the micro world also. Okay, just for the not the namesake of the as academicians, we should not be namesake for the publications. We have to able to bring out this some product that is the beneficial for the society, and that's beneficial for the industries, and that can be give the good jobs opportunity to the each and everyone. Based upon that, we need to understand. And these are the already the measurements are given, and or dust mite and fly ash, the dimensions. These are the natural things occurring in the nature, and also the many things are man-made. There are the head pins and also these other carbon tubes and all. These are the based upon the our manufacturing capacities we are working and how we are doing that things. Based upon that, we can be using our for our application purposes. This is the thing is very important. Normally, we call it a nanotechnology is a how old or how new it is. Okay, but we need to understand neither it is new, it is not old, but the nanomaterials are not new as such. Okay, in the reports, it is mentioned that nanoparticles can be found in the Ming Dynasty pottery of China. Okay, and most biological process occurs at the nanoscale itself. And Raman glass makers fabricated glass with the nanoscale metals to induce colors. That is the very long. This is going on. Similarly, Ravi Varman paintings. One you can know very well. Ravi Varman paintings. In that paintings, all the nanotechnology is used. But why we are not aware about the nanotechnology? Okay, because we are not able to. Nanomaterials are very new. Why? Our ability to measure, manipulate, and process at the nanoscale are very new. Because this we are now started to measure by manipulate, measure by the new instruments, equipments, and manipulate and process and make the scales. But Ravi Varman also using the same nanotechnology. He was developing very nice paintings. Till you can see many areas you can find the colors still exist and they are not vanished. Okay, that is the nanotechnology interventions were done, but that times we are not able to measure or calculate how much it exactly and what exactly reaction is happening. But based upon their experience, they are working and they are able to identify and create the pictures of the paintings or many other works. Okay. The history of nanotechnology. These are the 5 peoples one can see. Inspiration of molecules nanotechnology came from the Richard Feynman in 1959. This is the first person. And another technology is Mr. Nano. Mr. K. Dexel is the first technical paper he has published on molecular nanotechnology. And from that it started. And similarly, these 3 people, Sir Harry Kroto, Richard Smalley, and Robert Curley, they got the Nobel Prize in 1996 also, but they are working in the 1950s. The turning point came for the nanotechnology, as everyone knows, the discovery of the scanning tunnel microscopy, STM, and tunnel electronic microscopy, TEM. This is normally in the 1980s. These technologies started coming, and the many were started to study and identify and see what the difference is happening. And these are the AT&T Bell's lab in 1988. They are also shown the golden particle emits lights differently at the atomic scale. Means that is the initial stages. They saw that it is the emit differently. Means there is that something changes are happening. And then the further studies are started and many more are done. And similarly, Sumo Imijima, he also found that the carbon nanotubes and 100 times stronger than the steels. Means these are nanotechnology. When the manipulations or something is done, that will be start giving the effects on the particular products. And it may be increase or decrease. That depends upon the how you are manipulating and how you are developing. And also the each and every has a different characteristics. Example, the potato, when you boil in this water, it will be get softened. Similarly, when you boil egg, liquid boil egg will get the hardened. Like this, here also it happens that what types of your activity you are performing, based upon that, the property can be increased or decreased, and to obtain the required desired properties. And why moving into the nano world? That is also very important. Already we know very well about all the participants, I think so. And I think I can see now about 338 participants have joined this session. It's I think is very good success. Moving to the nano world, the miniature. Normally we know that it will helpful for the less the space required, faster, less material can be used, and making less energy can be used for the making these products, and use the outcomes. Novel properties, phenomenon, process can be developed. Most efficient length scale of manufacturing. It will be used less energy than this subatomics and the microscopics. Improve the healthcare systems. Nowadays, this nanotechnology is doing very much wonderful in the healthcare systems, and it is helping for the curing the many things that we'll discuss in later. And knowledge base, better understandings of the natures, how it is performing, what is happening, and how it is going to change. But we are not able to understand presently COVID-19. The top-down approach and bottom-up approach, everyone knows. There are the two methods normally how the nanoparticles are formed. Top-down means normally from the bigger size material, we are going to reduce it by the mechanical means or any other means, and then we'll bring it down to the small particles of range of 100, less than 100 nanometers. Okay, that is normally we call as the top-down approach. In this, you can prepare this nanoclays, titanium dioxide. From that, you can prepare sunscreens, cosmetics, surface coating, and foods, and etc. But when I come to the topic of titanium dioxide, I advise ladies especially to take care that all the lipsticks contain the titanium dioxides, and it is just harmful also. But in the many labels, they are not mentioning which types of the nanoparticle they're using. So if they're using nanoparticles the titanium dioxide, it is very harmful for the lips. Kindly take care. Then nano silvers, food packaging, the silver materials, or clothing, disinfectants, household applications, and many things can be adapted in the this technology, and it can be applied for the particular commodity as per our requirements. There is also good and is well harmful that we need to understand. And at this moment, many aspects are not known that what exactly is harmful or not. On the other hand, the bottom-up approach, the materials and devices are built from the molecular compounds through the self-assembling, or self-assembly means the higher the orders, and that can be molecules, crystal joints, and the atoms to the cluster, and cluster to the big particles, that is the nano scale particles will come. Because even this very atomic range also, that may not be work perform very well. In that case, we have to increase to the nanoscale, and that get the required optimum outcomes. Here one can develop this biopolymers from these bottom-up approaches by natural growing this bacteria or other materials, and that will be formed the biopolymers. But that will be take a long process, but that can be having the one of the best area to the work on. This is the normally I used to show talking about this industry and academia. Normally we think that the researchers, we are doing this much, we are doing very excellent, and industry says we are doing much more excellent. But there is a lot of gap between the industries and academia. The industry is profit oriented, everyone knows, everyone wants profit. If profit is there, they invest. There is no profit, nothing. Business means profit. And academia or research or government organizations means the social services to generate the data, basic data, and get some good outputs. Without basic data, industry cannot do anything. Maybe they are taking from directly, indirectly from anywhere, any sources, or maybe they're doing some basic research for initially at this smaller stages, and then they're converting into the products. Here, we need to understand, and we need to come together as the academicians and the industries, that gaps should be reduced for the third and fourth stages. One is basic manufacturing research. We do in the research labs and universities, and also we develop the proof of concept in the laboratories, lab scales. It is available, and many institutes, many organizations, many hubs are very much active in the developing, and many scholars are working on that one, and they're developing a very nice products are coming. But similarly, the capability in the production of environment is very high in the private. The demonstration of the production rate is very high in the industry, but they don't believe, or we are not capable, something like it happens. In this case, production in the laboratory is okay, but we are not able to go for the prototype developments because we don't have the capacity at the research levels. Whereas the private has this the production capacity, production level, but they don't want to come up because they don't want to invest on the remaining activities. Without any trial error or doing the some experiments, it is not possible to come up with anything. That's why we need to club together, and some we have to take out some mean out that gap should be reduced. The production in the laboratory should be converted into the prototypes, and then it can be converted to the labs. Once it is possible, then at this moment, I can understand that number of universities, institute students, and researchers working on the nanotechnology, and they have developed wonderful products, wonderful technologies, but those are still in the lab scale, or maybe not possible to take up due to the funding and other constraints, or private industries are afraid whether why investment will become up with their business model or not. But we have to take the risk and come forward for the development of both sides. The application of nanotechnology in agriculture and environment, we know very well. There are a number of areas it can be applied, but I'm just taking the few areas related to us, and out of that you can say water is the one of the major area. Precision farming, when they talk about agriculture. Smart delivery systems is in the all aspects, including agriculture delivery, or maybe the human drug delivery, or any other food delivery, or nutraceutical pharmaceutical. And particle farming, that is also one of the good area for these product developments. Then packaging and food safety is the major criteria nowadays for the all these epidemics and diseases, and also then food processing is also very important. Then pollution preventions and pollution remedies, these are the some of the areas are there, but we'll be talking only related to the food processing and packagings. Why it is important? As the food product production becomes increasingly automated, especially I'm talking about this industry, because nowadays every industries are very moving fast, and the present situation of COVID-19 has also created a lot of problems. In that case, the nanotechnology is playing or going to play very good important roles. In that case, the many processes are already automated in the industry, and the number of surfaces with which the food comes in contact and the subsequent potentials of the contamination increases. In that case, we need to have the technology that can be automatically eliminate the contamination, and that types of the some of the products are already coming, just like sprays, sanitizing system, but this is having the nanoparticles in it, and those nanoparticles are helping for the elimination of the contaminations, and that will be automatically clean, and it will be reduce the use of water in the industries. Also, the development of a new source of biodegradable packaging materials, as we know very well that the plastic materials, petrochemical based plastic materials, is very good material, very good technology, but very bad for the environment. We need to understand. We need to understand and distinguish separately. Plastic and plastic industry polymers are very good technology, and is very good for the all the purposes, packagings and all. But we are mismanaging it properly. We are not able to collect it and reuse it or recycle it. That's why it is harmful for the environment. For that purposes, that the problem of the policies, and that is not going to help us. However, we are careless, or the strict laws are not exist. That's why we are facing these problems. Otherwise, the plastic is very good. And alternately, we are very lazy in this following the rules and regulations. Then we need of the development of the biodegradable packagings. Even the negligence, no problems, but at least it could be degraded in short times. As you know, petrochemical based material, plastic is also biodegradable, but it requires at least 300 to 500 years or so. Okay, based upon that, we can't wait. During that time, so it will use waste will be generated, and it will be create a lot of problems in the whole environment, okay, including aqua as well as the normal surface areas. In this case, we are understand and develop a biodegradable films from the biodegradable materials. There are a number of biodegradable materials are available, and those can be created into the packaging materials, and that will be helpful for the degradations. And the biodegradability can be adjusted as per our requirement by the playing the molecule changes and the application of the nanotechnology. And it can be maybe 1 week, 1 day, or 1 month, or 2 months, or 5 months. Based on that requirement, you can develop this biodegradable molecule changes, and you can play the role and develop the packaging materials. Also, an adequate selection of the packaging materials can prevent the food quality losses by providing the barriers. Otherwise, the protective features there to enhance the food quality and shelf life and essence. Already we know that there is normally packaging is very good, and it can be protected and all. Based on that, we using the packaging material and also the labeling and all and the textures. But those are the very good for the packaging purposes. But however, we have to take care that this should be not harmful for the environment. Apart from the acting as a selective barriers for the moistures, gas and the solute migrations, these films can be operated as a carriers for the many functional ingredients that can be into the pharmaceutical industries and others. Okay, for that is how we are talking about the biodegradable films. One can see in this presentations of this slide, application of nanotechnology in food industry. These are the different categories, and number of people will explain in different ways. But here, what purposes we can use? Simple I'm giving, and apart from the number of applications are there. In the food processing, so we can use the nanoparticles for anti-caking agents, improve the consistency and to prevent the lumps formations by the nanoparticles. Nano additives and the nutraceuticals improve the nutraceutical values in the foods. Gelatinous agents improve the food textures. It is very important as per the requirement of the taste and mouth feels. Nano encapsulation and nano carriers to protect the aromas, flavors, and other ingredients into the foods. Not only flavors and aroma, they are off flavors also. Sometimes we need to consume fish oil for some health benefits or omega-3 fatty acids. In that case, fish oils are not good, or they may not be like the many people. In that case, we need to mask that flavor and consume it for the health benefits. And on the other hand, the food packagings, improved food packagings used for the use of nanoparticle to improve the physical performance of the foods. It will be initially we are performing the physical properties of the barrier properties, plastics, and then it will be applied for the application or storage of the food products or the packaging and storing in the refrigerator or the normal condition as per the condition of the particular products. The active packaging nanoparticles such as the antimicrobial agents, it will work. We'll discussing on that activities, and also we are discussing on the smart packaging and nanobio sensor for the pathogen detections and so on. Then just a minute. Then we can talk about the nanotechnology in food processing. So the nanostructures, food ingredients are being just a minute. The nanostructures of food ingredients are being developed with the claim that they are offer the improved taste, textures, and the consistency. And it is true also. Nanotechnology means we have to understand what exactly nanostructure. Already we basically understood, but in the application part we have to understand differently. Even any materials, example, you can take tomato paste, or you can make a powder out of it. When make a powder, the color is different when the particle size are different. If you further want to find powders, if the consistency develops, the color will decreases. Taste will come in very nice, but color of red or lycopene cell will decreases into the pinkish color or maybe whitish pink color, because it is the nanoparticle is playing important roles and the consistency changes. But taste will be different, because some will need mouth filling texture and somewhere we don't need. Example, if you want to take this chocolate is very much in black color, but everyone love to have the chocolate, and here we don't like texture or maybe not be particle. We need very fine particle, and it should be when consume, it should be immediately dissolved or maybe spread in the mouth, that will give the taste of the chocolate. Based upon that, this is types of the activities carried on, and based upon that technological, nanotechnological interventions, the peoples develop the products. Nanotechnology increases the shelf life of the different kinds of food products, materials, and also help brought down to the extent of the wastage of the food due to the microbial infestation. This we normally talk about this post-harvest losses, and the post-harvest losses happens due to the lot of physical weight losses or microbial attacks, or not properly handlings, mechanical injuries, and many more. And some products we are able to see the mechanical injuries upper surfaces or physical injuries. At some time we may not be able to see the injuries, but internal injuries are there, and that will be helpful for the growth of the microorganism, microbial growth, and then it will spread to the remaining food products or the foods, and it will be damage the whole as such. For that purposes, we can increase this shelf-life materials by using the different packaging materials or coatings materials we can use, and that will be stopped for some extent, and will give the enhance the shelf lives. Nowadays, the nano carriers are being utilized as the delivery systems to carry the food additives in the food products without disturbing the basic morphologies. This is the normally, as already mentioned, the fish oils we have to carry. In that case, the nanotechnology is very important, that when we consume anything, that should be reached to the particular targeted areas. Normally, when we talk about this food products, or maybe some medicines, or maybe some health benefits, some parts of the body requires some compounds, and may not be necessary that you consume. Example, we can take any medicine of cancer. Our body may not be required to whole product should be dispersed in the whole body. That may be adverse effect. But the technology in such a way that helping that the only that medicines will be in the body, and it will be directly trigger the particular cell where it is present. Once they reaches that area, if it is a particular cell is damaged or due to the particular cancer or something like that, it will be trigger and it will be kill that particular cancer cell, and it will be help for the curing. If it not happen that one, then unnecessary our full body will be affected with that medicines, and it will be side effects may happen. For that purposes, this nanotechnology is playing very important roles, and the nanotechnology's application is very much in the pharmaceutical industries, and they are developing very wonderful technologies, and they are come up with the very good products out of it. The ideal delivery system is supposed to have the following properties. We know very much. They able to deliver the active compounds precisely at the targeted place, means where it is required, we should reach to only that place. Ensure the availability at the target times and specific rate. This is very important, because any products is reaching, that should be reached that times, and it will be dissolved in the particular when it's come in contact with the particular reactions, maybe time, temperatures, or any enzymes, or whatever may be, based upon that. And these are the developed based on that study only. Okay, the efficient to maintain the active compounds at the suitable levels of for long periods in storage conditions. If you are able to want to store, it should be there, or it should be efficient condition that can be maintained the level and the same, and without any degradation of the quality parameters. The nanotechnology is being applied in the formulations of encapsulations. We know very well, as already discussed, emulsions. Emulsions development in the mixing of the vitamins in any juices or maybe other food products. Biopolymer matrix, development of polymers from the biodegradable materials. Simple solutions preparations, associations, collide offers efficient delivery systems, etc. Nanoparticles, biopolymers are trying to be replace the conventional materials of the food packagings, but a lot of research has to come. But there are number of experiments are carried, and many people are able to come up with the many technologies. As such, there are some are able to seal the products and all, but till there are a lot of problems of the sealing is there. But many claims they are able to seal, but they are polylactic acid. There are some are mixing it, and they may be different, mixing with the other adhesives, and they're making, and they're claiming is the fully biodegradable. But that is the question of the research area, and also need to study exactly what they're claiming is right. Otherwise, there is also cold welding is the technology is there that based on that can also some people can try for the sealing the biodegradable films. And also nano biosensors can be used to provide the presence of the contaminants, mycotoxins and the microorganisms in the foods or maybe packagings. Nanoparticles have the better properties for the encapsulations and the release of efficient than the traditional encapsulation methods. That's already mentioned, because it is delivery systems and the time and triggering activities, everything will be performed very nicely. The encapsulations, mask orders and the taste, as we know very well, because that's why it is used for the encapsulation purposes. Control interactions of active ingredients with the food matrix and control the release of the active agents, ensure the availability at the targeted time and the specific rates. Already it has been mentioned. And it is the protect from the moisture, heat, chemical and biological degradations during the processing, storage, utilizations, and also they exhibit the compatibility with the other compounds in the system. So that is very important. When we are talking about this any materials, when we're talking about the food processing industries or the packaging materials, in that case we are playing with the heat, we are playing with the moisture, chemical ingredients, biochemical reaction, degradations, changes takes place due to the what is called live products or the processed products, fresh products and the processed products. Changes will take place due to the chemical changes taking in the food commodities. Then importance of the nanotechnology in food processing to improve the food products in terms of food texture. When we talk about the technology, that is the good for the lab level, it's okay. But when it comes for the commercial levels or the industry level, the consistency that is normally called a signature taste or signature texture, that is very important. If we are not able to maintain this particular texture or quality, then the consumer may not be like. Example, I'm buying any biscuit today and I'm feeling that is the texture and taste is like this. If tomorrow if not repeated, and if I get the different texture or taste, I don't like to buy that one. And then the reputation of the industry will go down. For that purposes, nanotechnologies play very important roles, and based on that, the industries that prepare their own signature tastes and then consistency and they optimize ingredients. Based on that, they will be able to develop a food products which is having the food textures. It will be appearance will be very good, taste is also very good, nutritional value of the food and food shelf life will be also good, and it will maintain uniformly. If something changes happens, then the quality of all the parameters, storage, shelf life, nutritional quality, everything will be disturbed. For that purposes, the market of the food product sale will be reduced and the company may go in the losses. For that purposes, they maintain very nicely all the properties of this one. And here the nanotechnologies can play a very important role for the preparation of the or optimizations of the products for the industry purposes of the commercial production. The application of matrix of nanotechnologies, food science and technology, normally we know very well. This type of is published very long back, and it is the covering very simple way and a very systematic way. One can see the processing, products, food safety, biosecurity, and materials in the center. Is over the food science and technology we're talking. So if we take the processing, normally heat and mass transfer takes place. The changes will be there, and there are a lot of the product quality changes will be takes place, and that will be helpful for the conversion of the one form to the another forms. Nanoscale reactions engineering takes place. Then nanobiotechnology, molecular synthesis can be done in the processing and it possible and happens. And in the left-hand side, materials, you can take nano materials, nano emulsions, nano composites, nanostructures materials can be prepared as per our requirements. Products, it can be used for the delivery, formulation, and packagings can be developed. And biosafety, biosecurity, here the very important to know the what exactly is happening. For that purposes, one can develop for the biosensors and also the find out the nano tracers. It will be helpful for the detections. We come into this food processing. So normally it is on a demand. Normally we already discussed. See the food, when talk about this commodity in Indian condition, I am talking. Hope that many people are from India. हम लोग तो खाना खाते के पेट भर के. We like to have the food on the full stomach filled. Okay, but we don't look at the exactly requirement, whether nutritional aspects we are going to cover, our calories fulfilled or not. That is not the criteria for us. We want the full belly full, stomach full food. In that case, we don't think whether the nutritional we are meeting or not. But in the other developed countries or many people, they are not worried about the filling the stomach. but they worried about the nutritional and their body requirements are met or not. If they're not met, they'll use the medicines, but that is also not good, because you need to consume the natural food products, and natural is the ultimate for our immunity developments and all. Okay, and Biodelivery Sensor International has developed the nano chelates and can be used for the delivery nutrients such as vitamins, lycopene, omega fatty acids more efficiently to the cell without affecting the color and the taste of foods. These are the some just an example I'm giving. But apart from the number of organizations, institutes, laboratories, and industries are developing a number of products, and the number of products are available nowadays in the market. But many products are not labeled. Many products are not labeling whether they are utilizing nanotechnology. There any role of nanotechnology here or not, because there are many oppositions coming from the many areas. There are natural cell assembly nanostructures are there. Whey proteins is the one of the best. Casein micelles, fat globules, nanotubes from the hydrolyzed milk protein, alpha lactobacillus, lactobeams, and starch granules, dextrin, and monoglycerides. These are some of the self-assembling into the many morphology to the nanoscales can be possible, and we can also have the changes in the several phenomena become the pronounced at the size of the particle in the system decreases. The physical properties, just like mechanical, electrical, optical, or thermal properties, undergo the pronounced changes due to the formation. The increase in the surface area or to the volume ratio, increase the diffusions and the catalytic reactions. Opaque substance become the transparent, example copper, when convert into the normal to the nanoscales. Stable materials become the combustibles, aluminum, example. Insoluble material become the soluble, example gold. These are some of the examples that can be for the changes from the normal material to the nanomaterials. When we talk about these functions of the packaging, technical and the marketing, we know very well this is the common definitions when since from our childhoods or maybe from the college times to yesterday. It will be helpful for the packaging: preserve, protect, inform, transform, extend, and interact. This is the source. For that purposes, it is the packaging is used. They preserve and the protect the food, as we know, from the moisture barriers and heat and sunlight and water, and so provide the legal and the useful informations, whether the where it has been manufactured, which industry is manufacturing, what is the nutrition contents, logos, which company is manufacturing, and many things. It is very helpful for the legal purposes, or with the information to the useful for the useful information for the users or the consumers. Then assist the handling and the provide the convenient movements. Normally, when it is already packed in the industry, any products, it will be helpful for the immediately delivered, no need to repack or something. It will properly transported to the one place to another places, and it can be handled because everything is mentioned on the packets, and that much rate can be charged, and it will be collected from the products. In the similarly, where packaging we are do in this secondary and tertiary processings, whereas primary processing, especially the farmer producer, we are carrying in the bulk, and in that case we are not able to fix the prices, nor we are able to pack them properly because the cost. And when we go for the market, we are happy to bargain with the farmers or the vendors. In the poor vendors, normally we bargain. Even if we are asking for 10 rupees, we'll ask for 7 rupees. If he is asking for 40 rupees, we'll ask for 20 rupees. But whereas the secondary and tertiary processed products, even if he is labeling 100 rupees, it cost is 35 rupees. Okay, we need to understand only 35 rupees is the production cost, and 15% is the profit of the industries, and 50% is go for the advertisements, transportation, storage, and what is called middlemen commissions and all. It goes. But even though we are able to happy to pay for 100 rupees, because we know they are not going to change or they are not going to accept it, and unless until we pay 100 rupees, they will not give the products. But whereas the farmers has to force to sell, even if you ask for 10 rupees or even 5 rupees, you have to sell or bargain. But we need to change the mentality, and we need to support the farmers also. Okay. The active and intelligent roles in the adding functionalities are very important. So the many packaging materials we are doing some active ingredients and intelligent codes we are adding, roles we are playing. So we are adding the different commodities, and then we are improving the functionality of the packaging materials. There are the smart packaging systems, just like electronic nose, electronic tongue. This will be based on this example, zinc oxide nanowires. Resistance changes will take place when they normally we sense by the nose and we smell it what exactly is happening. But person to persons, or if situations or the climatic conditions, our nose sensing power will be different. In that case, we are not able to understand. But the instruments will be helpful. Without the with the change of any climate, it's not going to affect, because it is the instrument base. It will be give the exactly results. Similarly, what we are talking about texture analyzer, the textures, mouth feelings is different, but the instrument will be different, because the feeling of person to person varies. Whereas here, the machine will give accurate data. Based on that, the product is able to develop and they keep the information, maintain the information in the products. Similarly, electronic tongues, we can test anything, but if you are able to develop nano-based sensors, that will be give the color changes, texture, or maybe taste, or how it is looking, and what exactly is not looking, how it is feelings and all. Based on that, one can understand, and you can use these instruments for the measuring our product qualities parameters. Nano bio illuminations sprays. This is normally developed by this Agromica, used for the illuminators of proteins that has been engineered to the bind to surface microbes such as E. coli and others, and it will be visible glows. Nano composite coatings for the food packagings. We are moving to the nano composites materials. There are a number of materials we formulate. There are the single layer biodegradable films, and also some single may not be possible due to the different properties. We may be required for the different compositions we add for the development of the packaging materials, and also we develop the coating materials. The coating material can be dipped and put on the surfaces or be sprayed for the particular commodity or fruits and vegetable or any other material you want to pack. Okay, and it will be increase the or decrease the gas permeability of the different fillers, and it is the development how we are developing it. Yeah, you can develop as per your requirement. We can change the properties. We can composition. We can changes, and you can develop the biodegradable nano coatings material or by packaging materials. And we know that it will be helpful for the mechanical heat resistant properties, lower the oxygen transmission rate. Then because it is very good for their products. Because we are developing. Just excuse me for 1 minute. Hello. Sorry. Then these are the helpful for the improving the mechanical and resistant properties, and that we are manipulating. Nanotechnology is playing very important role to the giving us the opportunity to manipulate and develop as per our requirements. And many researchers we develop two types of packaging materials. One, what's already available in the markets, we take and carry the research and see this is the best or bad. And the other researchers do the reverse. They will study the characteristics of the product. How much ethylene is production? What is the moisture production? What are the gas productions? How much is generating? And with the respect to the shelf life, how it is decreasing, with the respect to the climate, how it is changing, or temperatures, how it is performing, and how it is behaving. Based on then they develop the packaging materials. If that packaging material is developed, that is very useful for the enhancement of the shelf life. Whereas many people, they take the what's the material available in the market, just they study as per their wish, and then they come to conclusion that this packaging will be helpful for the this much day storage of this particular product. But that we need to help directly industry whatsoever they're developing. But on the other hand, we can help the industry for the developing a technology and adapt that technology for the particular products. And another drawback is that because of all the agriculture materials, especially fruits and vegetables, they are highly perishable and they behave differently in the different conditions, and their performance is different. That's why many packaging fails, and individualistic packages may not be possible to develop and use for that purposes. That's why the common plastics are available. That those are used for the study or the use in the wrapping the food products. Then we talk about this smart materials improving the barrier protections in the food packagings. Nano sensors for the food safety and food biosecurities is very important. The specific optical RNA biosensors for the E. coli bioanalytical micro systems for the rapid detection of the pathogens. Nanotechnology and food for the commercializations and the consumer confidence is very important in these aspects. Liabilities, the legal implications of the employing the nanoparticle in the food related products is very much, and that till the many labs are working and many labs are comes up for the very good results. Some are saying it's very good, some are saying it's not, and all nanotechnology nanoparticles are not good or not bad. We need to distinguish and use it. If any medicines you use for the some cure of the some illness, that has the good for the curing the illness, but also have the bad effect if you use for excess or the you are not using the proper dose as per requirement. Similarly here also the nanoparticles when you are developing, you can develop a nanoparticle from number of materials and then n number of the products can be created, but you have to identify which material is best for what purposes and where it can be used, and whether that materials nanoparticle developed is going to give the desired property or not. The nanotechnology for the control release of release and functional foods, already we are talking about this one. The micro encapsulation or the nano encapsulations. It's not necessary that we should have the only micro or nano. Anything will be work as per our requirements. And herb extracts or bioactive compounds. Normally, children don't like to consume any herbs or anyone. We too don't want to use kada. Nowadays, kada for this COVID or something, because we don't like. We are not happy to consume that one. But that is very good for the consumptions for the curing the this disease of coronavirus. But many people they don't like. But in that case, nano encapsulations or the micro encapsulation may help for the compound that can be extracted, can be masked in that nano encapsulations and consumed, that may be released in the desired properties, and it will be helpful for the curing the diseases. Okay, but that especially I'm talking about this coronavirus, that may be the issue of research, but till there is a possibility that will cure. Even if one can go for this garlic onions also, it will help a lot extents. But that scientifically it is many aspects it is proven, but against the corona it is not proven. But I have tried it is working very well. Okay, one can try that one, and it will help for the curing the coronavirus, or at least release of the some extent. The nano emergency delivery systems for the increasing the absorption of nutraceutical and health supplements. Simple example I will give you here. Normally the poultry industry normally the feed is given to these chicks, and the body mass index they calculate. If the poultry product is chick is consuming more food, the cost will increases. For that the mass balance they do. Whatsoever the food material they absorbed or consumed, it should be converted into the proteins or the flesh. Similarly here, whatsoever we are consuming or whatsoever the food we are consuming, that should be converted into the helpful materials. There may be calories or the fat or proteins or whatever it may be, that should be converted, and digestibility should be increased. Once it is possible, that will be give the less material consumption and more energy and more outputs. For that purposes, we need to develop these systems and helpful for the maximum absorptions. And some of the nutraceutical commodities are very less in volumes, and in that case, only small amount should be reached to the desired cell or desired area, and then it should be triggered, and that will be helpful for the production of particular commodity or particular aspect. That's why we need to take these supplements in such a way that it should be target the body and growth of the human. Okay, in that types we play with the nanotechnology and develop the products and create the outer layers, coatings, and then it will help. Similarly, when you take this pharmaceutical industries capsules, they're coated with the all the biodegradable films developed from all the biodegradable materials. And biosensors, nanosensors or biosensors for the traceability and monitoring the conditions of the food transport storage. Normally, biosensors and packaging materials, we can put the different treatments, and you can develop different types of the biosensors can be developed. And then when come in contact with the particular microbes or the gas formation or something, the reaction takes place, and the reactions will be changing the color of the sensor portions. That will be covered, maybe white portions will be start converting to the red colors. That indicates that the product is going to be generating gas, or maybe microbial growth is increasing, and based on that the product is going to spoil. For that purposes, either you have to dispose of or be sell at the particular time before it is spoiled. Means we should be try to avoid the wastage. Then we talk about this smart and biodegradable packaging foods, packaging of foods. Normally, as I already mentioned, that is the controlled release of the mechanisms, technology using the volatiles of the plant origins for self-life extensions, packagings we are developing. Food specific packagings having the insect repellents and to the water absorbing properties. Smart packaging interventions for the retention of the volatiles and flavor in the packaged foods. Time temperature indicators and the color code scheme for self-life detections of the packaged foods. Polylactic acids, PLA based biodegradable contents of films, coatings of packaging materials for the or food materials packagings. Biopolymer films embedded with the nanocomposites or nanoparticles and making the biodegradable smart packagings with composite or single layers. These are the some of these compounds involved in the development of the smart and biodegradable packaging materials. Now we'll talk about biodegradable plastics. Biodegradable plastics may be not only the biodegradable only or only biodegradable materials. It can be the petrochemical based plastics can be made into the biodegradables. They use the catalytic changes and all, and based upon that they develop it. Okay. When we take about this natural materials, just like chitosan, cellulose, and polycarboprochlocations as a film for the modified atmosphere packagings, and that can be fresh produce can be stored, and shredded lettuce or cabbage or cut broccoli can be stored in these aspects. And some of this act with the photobiodegradable plastics. When you come in contact with this sunlight or other additives, it will change the polymer reaction change reactions, and these are the heat sensitive or light sensitive, and then breaks, and there will be possible to degrade it. But the degradation is break will be possible, but 100% biodegradations may not be possible. And then the small particles will be entered into the aqua systems and the sea and all the aquatic materials or aquatic fishes and all they may consume, and that will be harmful for the human as well as environment. Nanoparticle enhancements films for the food packaging. Developing the cost effect is very important. Environment friendly is required for the friendly nano composites for self-life enhancement, and replacing the existing packaging systems and reduce the waste by the recycling or biodegradables. That we normally talk about this development of the materials with the replacing the biodegradable petrochemical based materials into the biodegradable, and the number of materials are available in the nature. We can extract those materials and can be used. And some of the materials we are not using in India, especially a huge number of the biodegradable materials are available. Those can be used for the making the biodegradable films. And those biodegradable films can be used for the packaging purposes, which will be save environment, also they save the cost, and also it will helpful for the growth of the industries because pollution creation problems, water problems, choking problems, that is happening due to this petrochemical based materials. It will be very good for the recycling, and it will naturally biodegrade. And nanoparticles, when we talk normally, many people talk about this harmful effects, and we normally only emphasize on the metallic based nanoparticles. We normally forget that the use of the natural based nanoparticles. There are examples. You can take aloe vera gel nanoparticles can be created. Curry leaves nanoparticles can be created. Neem based nanoparticle can be created. Okay. wheat grass based nanoparticles can be created, and many more. These are some of the one of few examples. And such types of the natural materials can be used for the creating the nanoparticles. And you need to study the exactly what property it is performing. Based upon that, it can be applied. And the food industry prospects of nanotechnology, the normally it is the conventionally they make the food as a food has been and it is the top down process and need to be developed the bottom up process. Normally what's available we are using it, and we're not developing any new innovations or something like that. From the bottom up we have to understand and we have to create what exactly required. Means we have to understand the behavior of the particular products and develop based on the requirement of that particular material. If you are talking the banana, or maybe talking about the mango, that ripenings and the ethylene generations and the process is different from the one and the other products. Based upon that, we need to approach the product what exactly required, not the what polythene we are or the film we are developed. For particular commodity, we need to understand what exactly that particular required, what care we should do be taken for that is the enhancement of the self-life of the particular product. Then nano food should be the consumer convenience. As any things we are going to give, it should be very much convenience, pleasure, and the most importantly target the nutritional and health benefits. If you are going to develop the nanomaterials using the nanotechnology, and you are changing the any forms, example oil blendings. Okay, many oils are they have. Normally we go for this edible oils, and edible oils normally go for the filtered oil or extra filter, double filter also we are going to use it. And nowadays we are habituated to see the light yellowish or the white color oil we like, but many compounds we are losing from it. Instead of that, we can go for the natural extracted or the simple paper filter, cloth filter mechanism should be applied. And if you use that one, that will give very good health benefits. But we are habituated to consume only the filtered one. Okay, in that filtered or refined, in that case what happens, many nutraceutics be taken out, and the industries are playing very game with the consumer to what is called blending with the different oils, and almost all oil are refined only, and when the blending is done, they may be using palm oil. We don't freshly we don't consume it. Maybe it's costing 20 to 30 rupees or 35 rupees, whereas this mustard oil or groundnut oil is costing maybe 100 to 200 rupees kg. In that case, they want to blend it and they want to supply it. But in that case, there is also very tough to identify how it is blending is done, and the blending what proportionally they are doing it, because there are the chain reactions required to understand, and that can be GCMS can be helpful for the detection of such types of activities. But nanotechnology also play a very important role that we can conveniently add the products, mix it properly, and give the healthy products to the consumers, not necessarily that to the profit. Profit is not always, money is not the always anything. We need to understand money is very, very important. Business means money means business. Okay, but here we should not be play with the consumers. In that case, we should be try to give the products with the health benefits and helpful for the consumers, and it should not be side effect or maybe not making any harmful on the environment. Because when we are using this talking about the edible oils, all the industries they are extracting while refining further and making this light yellow color, and they are giving to us, but that is not good. Instead of that, you can go for the naturally, just like we used to call earlier organic and inorganic, and polished dal, especially arahara or maybe pigeon pea dal we used to consume. In that case, we in the initial stages we to try to give the polish and give the shining, but now the reaction has been changed, and now we give the unpolished dal, unhashed dal, because they are having the fibers and also very good compounds in it, and that we are selling at the high rates. Similarly, when you talk about this developed countries, they used to sell the breads, white breads at the costlier, and they used to consume it. But when they found that the white bread is not good for the health, the obesity is increasing, they tried to find out the solution, and they came to the, instead of white bread, they came into the brown bread. Brown bread required no processing, but whole grain they're using, or maybe some they are also adding. Many industries, frankly speaking, many industries are adding some color and material in the maida itself, and they're selling in the brown bread. That is not good. But even the actual some industries are using brown bread with the whole grains. That is good. With less investment, earning more. In the now you can see the market. If the white bread is costing 10 rupees, the brown bread is costing in the market about double of 20 rupees. Okay. In that case, we need to understand and need to help the peoples to be consumed better, and we should give the healthy products to the consumer. That's the criteria should be there for the industries, and profit is okay. You are the industry manufacturers, you should earn for the profit, but should not be play to the consumers. For that purposes, the many technologies are coming. The many researchers are working on that one and developing the different materials for the detection, rapid detection kits and all. It can be applied for the production, processing, safety, and packaging of the food, especially in the productions, processing, and safety. All these nanotechnology is used, and detections and the different stages of different commodities are using, and different roles the nanotechnology is playing very nicely. One is the biosensors. Normally we talk, so there are different types of biosensors are available, so, and here the light or some transducers are helping here. When biosensor is the analytical device containing an immobilizer. Yes.
Sorry to interfere you, sir. So now it is 12:05. Can you make it around 15-20 minutes?
Yeah, not for 50 minutes. I think we need 5-10 minutes.
No problem. 10.
Okay, I will go fast. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will be coming in the last maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. We're talking about these biosensors. That the immobilized biological materials can be used for the development of biosensors, enzymes, antibodies, nucleic acids, hormones, and many more, which is especially interact with the analytics, and they produce the physical, chemical, or electrical signals that can be measured. Okay, these are the systems that we use for the biosensors, and the analytic is the compounds for glucose, urea, drugs, pesticides, whose concentration has to be the measured by this type of the biosensors. And these biosensors can be developed with some enzymes and also with some nanoparticles. And these are the very good techniques can be adopted, but till the number of research activities are going on, and also we need further research on the find out exactly what exactly is happening and how it is reacting with the particular commodities. Similarly, the biosensors are basically it is major involved in the quantitative analysis of the various substances by converting them into biological actions to the measurable signals, and it is the normally conversion of signals and measuring it and giving the digital forms, and we can record it and we can analyze and we can see what exactly is happening and how much is changing. It may be changing, but so we should have some digit that what exactly is happening, how much percentage changes are taking place in the particular commodity. Based on that, we can develop these types of the sensors and analyze and use the sensor for the detection purposes. We are talking about the smart packaging, active or intelligent packages. There are active packagings. We know that oxygen scavenging property should be there, antimicrobial, ethylene scavenging, because we don't need ethylene for the ripening purposes here, because we want transport or store purposes. Heating and cooling should be maintained properly. Odor of flavor absorbing should be there and should be capable to release or absorb the odor and flavors from the packets. Moisture absorbing capacity should be there in the active packagings, and it should be normally happen in the active packagings. Whereas the intelligent packagings, it is the give the time, temperature histories, microbial growth indicators. It will be normally indicating how much microbial growth is happening. So maybe color changes or the what types of the materials or sensor we are using. Based on that, it will give the changes. Microspallage indicators will be there. Light protections, photochromatic types of properties will be there in the packaging material, and if it's something leakage is there, it will be indicate the leakages and all. That will be this type of the packaging materials are already available in the market, and many industries are using it until a lot of requirement is also there. And in the smart packaging, already we're talking. So similarly, you can see the labels. They are having the one on this right hand side. When it is packed, it is the yellowish color. when it is starting this respirations and the property changes, it will be starting to the orange color, and when it is going to the spoil or it reaches the final stages, it will be changing to the red color, or some significant changes will taking place. And that based on that we can understand that this product is the changing the characteristics and coming to the end, and shelf life going to the over. For that purposes, we need to consume before it is spoiled. This packaging is helpful in a smart way. Similarly, active packagings, normally the barrier layers and active layers are there. In the food products, when we pack in the products, that is normally antimicrobial agents, carbon dioxide, antioxidants, flavors. As per requirements, we can incorporate, add it in. And where the scavenger systems are active, the oxygen should be maintained, carbon dioxide should be maintained, moisture and ethylene should not be required, or odor should not be there. And this should be taken. That will active packaging helpful for the enhancement of the shelf life of the fresh fruits and vegetables. Photosensitive dyes oxidations. These types of films are already available. It is the photosensitive. When they come in contact with the lights. Here, normally we when I was in university, I try to develop the surface cleaning materials. When coming with some lights or maybe UV lights, it will be helpful for the killing the microbial properties. Microbes are present on the surfaces and the self cleanings. Whereas presently we are also developing here in many cloth materials. There is a self cleanings, and it will not allow the penetration of water also. These are the role of the called as the nanoparticles. That all the nanoparticles play very important roles, and some cloths will not get absorb the waters. And if you want to clean it, it not required cleaning because it is only already self cleaning materials. But it will be very good when we don't want to get dirt or the rain should not be absorbed. But it is very harmful when you want to remove some water from the surfaces. These types of the cloth will not absorb the water, and then there will be also the side effects. In that case, plasma technology can be used for the regeneration of the non-absorption material into the absorbent materials. And we talk about the biopolymers. There are a number of polysaccharides, proteins, nucleic acid, lipids, and many things are used for the development of the biopolymers, biodegradable biopolymers. And there is another such types of the biopolymer is the catechol is the one of the best materials available in the natures that can be used for the development. Apart from this, whey protein is available. Any proteins you can do. The corn chain protein you can use. Starches one can use for the development of the biodegradable films, and combination of these films can also be developed. Just I will give some researchers, maybe simple development of nanoparticle, the biodegradable films with the cellular nanoparticles. But here, what are we able to develop in the lab scale? That should be able to convert into the commercial level and the extrusion processings. But in the many cases, there fails due to the extrusion process, but they are that not optimized properly. If able to optimize properly, then these types of the nanoparticles based biodegradable films are very useful. And many researchers or many institutes are able to develop it and coming out, but consistent effort is required, and there's changes. One can go for this titrations of 2% weight by weight, and you can add with the acetic acids dissolved in the 94% distilled waters. After studying 15 minutes, you can add some glycerol for the plasticizing agents. And here the pH plays very important roles. We have to adjust the pHs here. And pH is if the pH is not properly adjusted, it will not work. And then you have to filter or remove the unwanted materials, and then some you can add the nanoparticles as far as either you can add cellular nanoparticle or the natural based nanoparticles, and you can dry it in ambient conditions or maybe at 45 degrees centigrade for 1 day, and you will get the products. It is the lab scale methods, but you can go for the extrusion methods by the dry methods, and you can develop the films out of it. These are some of the catechol-based films prepared in the laboratories. Just catechol dried flakes, mixing with the heating and mixing the plate dryings, and then peeled out the films. These nanoparticles, when you develop, normally we talk about the nanoparticles very important, and nanoparticles very highly investment and required highly technologies or so on. But I will tell you that any researcher want to do the nanotechnology research, he can start with this simple 2-3 equipments in the labs. Not much high-end equipments or high-end equipments are required. that required only for characterization. We need to remember that is required for characterization. Characterization means you have to see whether nanoparticle forms are they in the nanoparticle range or not, or the products is in the nano range or not, or what exactly is reaction is taking place. But many researchers were doing without unknowingly that in the nano range only, but we are not able to characterize and identify. Based on that, you can understand and can start in the simple laboratory scale nanoparticle developments and the product development, and you can use that one. But you want to assure that you should be characterization materials like SEM, TM, and other EF and number of instruments are there. Those can be used for the characterization. Only optimized best product can be taken for the characterization. Then you can also study the antimaterial properties with the nanoparticles. You may not be knowing the exactly nanoparticle formula or not unless you don't have the instruments. But if you don't also, you can study the microwave properties also on that aspects and see whether any effects are happening. If you come some good results, then only those samples can be sent for the characterization. Then you can go for these rheological properties of biopolymer developments. Then you can give the how much strength is the formed in the biopolymers. Then you can go for this storage modulus and Young modulus and loss modulus, complex viscosity you can study. Similarly, we protein isolate films can be prepared. This is the cornigine protein isolates, cornigine protein. That film can be prepared similar to this earlier one. This you can make in this lab scale, or you can make extrusion products. That, but when we go for extrusion, there is some problem of formation of fragile materials that can be converted into the biodegradable polymers. There are some number of areas are available, and there are many people are attending the number of areas. Till there are a lot of scope for the doing the nanotechnology in the food processing and the packagings. These are some of the areas I'm presenting here. And there are a number of limitations in these applications. Some researchers claim that it is not possible to add the vitamins in the fat or oils. Fat soluble vitamins cannot be added to the juices and beverages. Difficult to add vitamin D to the food meals. Fortification, developments of improved taste, flavor, color, and textures. Improve barrier properties of packaging materials. The sensors for tracing and the traceability and monitoring the food quality. There are some what is called limitations are there. Those can be overcome by the working on the dedicated working on this particular area and coming to the and addressing the particular areas of a particular commodity. And nano dreams versus nano horrors. Normally we are seeing now in the 2020. A bonanza of terrorist. Normally we talk about this terrorist. What the example is the COVID is developed. One can say it is the manipulations of the viruses and not it's a natural one. It is the bonanza for terrorist, and that is the created by the some countries, and that is the definitely it is the harmful. We are facing a lot of problem worldwide is facing the problem. That is the play of the nanotechnology. It is very harmful, but we need to use very good for the good purposes. And there are a lot of ownership and other accessibility problems. Many issues are there, many ethical issues are there, and so many. But many good, it can be used for the very good things. And last but not least, Albert Einstein says, "I know only two things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity." And I'm not sure about the first, because if you know the human stupidity and what it created and the COVID we are facing now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk and discuss this topic. And you are most welcome to write me on kadam1k@gmail.com. And I'm ready to discuss if what's already possible. I will extend.
kadam1k@gmail.com. Am I right, sir?
Yes, kadam1k@gmail.com.
Yeah, I just put in the chat mail, sir. Sir, there are a couple of questions. Shall I have a discussion?
Yeah, please, please.
Yes. Sir, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation and covering most of the informative informations pertaining to the food industry, especially for the packaging. And now we'll finish the question and answer. Then the persons who have raised their hands, we can have the direct contact to the scientist. Okay, sir. The first question is, so is there, how to use the nanotechnology packaging for soya paneer to extend the shelf life?
They want to use for soya paneer. Soya paneer they can use for the two types of packaging. One is the edible packaging they can use. The edible coating can be prepared, and then the soya paneer blocks can be dipped in that nano-based edible biodegradable materials, and they can enhance shelf life. Or the second type, they can go for this shrink wrap packaging materials. With that can be having this some nanoparticle embedded in it that will be reducing the microbial growth on the surfaces of the food materials.
Okay. How to measure the side effects of nanoparticles added to the food product?
Side effect of?
Side effects of nanoparticles added in the food product.
As I already mentioned, nanoparticle as a not a new one. We are many in daily life, we are using a lot of nanoparticles. But we have to think which nanoparticle we are going to add. If you are something material, say example, you are talking about the soya paneer, if you're coming direct contact, in that case, we should not be advised for the go for metallic nanoparticles. They can go for the natural nanoparticles, and that will be that will having the example alfalfa. That is also having the very good properties, gold particles properties. Okay, that will can be helpful for the production of the microbial growth. That types of material they have to use and identify it. Okay, and without going for this analysis, it's not possible to identify whether harmful or beneficial. And based on that, they can analyze. And you can much more explain better than me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before next question, can you stop your sharing so that it will become easy? Stop sharing. Yeah.
Now it's coming or stop it?
No, stop it, sir.
It stopped now?
No, you stop it, sir. You just close the sharing.
Yeah,
Stop
okay,
sharing.
1 minute.
The top side.
Yeah, it is not. There is some problems coming. The meetings information.
In the top side, sir.
Share.
Red color. Red color. Share. Red color, sir. Stop sharing.
No, it is not here coming.
Not here, sir. No problem.
There's some problem. It's not showing at this moment.
No problem, sir. So if it is there, so that the people will see your.
Okay. Stop sharing. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Now it is clear. Okay, sir. There are a few questions. Use of more pesticide to food crops. How we can overcome these contaminants from the food products?
There are some nanoparticle-based traceability or sensors products can be developed, and that will be each and every chemicals reacts with some commodities. We need to identify for which commodity it will be going to react, and based on that we can make just like a pH strips. One I think simple, many people knows. Maybe older people may know, younger may not be knowing because now the digital pH meters are come. If this pH meter types of technology can be developed, it will be when you come in contact or touch this surfaces of the fruits and vegetable, then we'll get this some reaction. And that reactions will maybe which color changes or maybe other reactions. Based on that, we can identify how much of the pesticides are applied on the particular fruits and vegetable when growing.
Yes, sir. What about the policy matter on nanoparticles? Is these nanoparticles are allowed to pack the food materials? If at all nanoparticles enter into food particles, what will happen?
As such, I have no idea what exactly what are the policy matters on that aspects. But already I mentioned that this nanoparticle we are using daily and we are daily consuming it. And natural materials is not as much harm. When intentionally we are adding some materials in the range of nanoparticle, and that may be consuming excess, that may be porous, maybe a block, and that will be create problems. That is the fear. That's why we need to understand. And natural cleaning material is there. Some material, it will be helpful for the cleaning, then it's okay. If not possible, then it will penetrate in the body and it will be porous will be blocked. These blockages chances are there.
Yes, sir. Sir, is there any international guidelines available for nanoparticles limits of various products to be considered for food grade, especially by FDA?
There are some of the already the limitations are there, and some guidelines are there already where to use. And many, I think, not recommending anyone. That's why many food products are already having the nanoparticle, but they are not actually mentioning in the any product labelings. Example, I have discussed about the simple lipsticks. In the lipstick, they normally they're using titanium dioxide for the glow. It will give 24 hours glow on the face lips, but they're not actually mentioning because it is harmful. And there is also some people they make hue and cry. That's why they are not mentioning. I'll check it exactly what exactly any rules are there. I'll check it.
Okay. So there is so much of advancement of nanoparticles in drug industry. Why this kind of progress is not seen in food industry?
Pardon?
There is so much of advancement in nanoparticles in drug industry or the drug development. Why this kind of progress is not seen in food industry?
Yeah, that drug delivery, they are already very advanced. That's you are right. Even I think longer time they are working. But the food industry, normally the food industry we go for in the two aspects. One the product development and one is the machinery developments. Okay, when you talk about the food products, if you go for the material and the nanotechnology aspect, if texture, taste, or the other materials are changing, as I already mentioned, if nano means not necessarily go for nano. If I'm able to get at the 500 or 1000 nanometers range, there is enough. No need to go for the nano in that aspect. On the machinery aspect you talk, there are the number of materials are coming, which is the nanotechnology. They'll play example when any tomato processing industries run, every day we need to clean it. In that case, with the materials coming in such a way that the liquid forms, if you just put on that one, it will automatically cleaning with the self-cleaning, just like self-cleaning cloths. The same materials are available. That can be adapted and it will be helpful. But still, there's a lot of to become because there are huge investment is also involved. And also, who are the consumers? We are consumer. We can spend only 100 rupees for the tomato ketchup, but I can spend 15,000 or 50,000 for the buying the mobile. For that, they are ready to invest on that. And where the output or the product sale is at very minimal rates. That's why many industries are not interested because industry means business. I already mentioned.
Yes, sir. So, what is the cost of production or supply for pilot scale packaging material developed equipment which is suitable for the incorporation of the nanomaterial?
So, see, normally whatsoever these existing industries are available, either the biodegradable film developing industry or maybe normal petrochemical based packaging material development industry. That system will work as such. In that case, you have to incorporations, you have to 1 or 2 instrument you have to add it, and that is hardly cost 1 or 2 lakh rupees. That's it. Because here when we want to develop for the film, either you have to go for the extrusion blowing or maybe sheet making as per your requirement and thickness and types of material you are going to use. Based upon that, you can just make the pellet out of it, and the nanoparticle can be mixed properly, and pellet can be remixed and then it can be passed for the extrusion blowings.
Sir, is there any cheap or less cost nanomaterials available for antimicrobial agent other than the silver?
They already mentioned there is one nanoparticle is alpha is one of the major naturally soluble that can be used. You can use for this aloe vera gels. You can use curry leaves also play a very important role that can be used. You can form a nanoparticle out of it and you can use it.
Yes, sir. So in India, this technology is commercially exploited.
In some area it is already exploited, and many example you can talk about just biodegradable films. Already many industries are claiming, and also we have tested here in our labs when the dissolution or the degradation it is possible, but actually that is naturally the material is degrading or some many other catalysts they have changed. It is not sure, yes, but we have tested it is the biodegradable and that film is already available. And in the flavor developments or maybe taste enhancers and all, already they are using the nanotechnology materials. They may have formulations. The example you can take. Simply, we can talk about this. Our grandmother used to rub the masala on yes, this stone and all. Na? In that case, the taste was different. And now the present ladies, what they're using the mixer. Mixer will grind within 1 or 2 minutes of maybe half kg or so. But that time, older ladies used to take half an hour to grind that one because that was taking the nanotechnological interventions and the molecular interaction with each other. And that the flavor and taste was releasing in that, and there will be reaction due to that is coming. But one only now with the mixer, only the cutting it is not properly mixing and it is not giving the time. For that purpose, it is happening. And similarly, in the spice industry, already I think definitely they are using this technology because the optimizations, mixing, there will be maintain the quality. That's the already many industries are using, but may not be claiming or may not be knowing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Already so many industries they are using even nano particles, but still they are not claiming.
Not even also researchers also were not trying to identify whether they are that example. You take this spices or what the mixing spices are. There are almost many particles you can say nano range also.
Yes,
but
sir.
we are not identified exactly what exactly happening.
Yes, sir.
That may be the
Sir,
reason.
sir, what is the future of nanotechnology in India or in food sector, like that?
See, nanotechnology is not going to work, and is very huge investment is going to come, and many technology will change. Revolutions is going to come, and we need to work on that. Many researchers and industry also need to work together to develop the different products. And also, apart from the first is thing that we have to enhance the shelf life of the food products.
Yes, sir.
Example, in the present COVID situation, everyone rushed for the food products only. Okay, and this situation, farmers and we have this sufficient stuff. That's why we are not face any problem. Otherwise, if some situation happened, then could have lost many people due to the food starvation. In that cases, if the nanotechnology intervention properly storage is there, if proper enhancement of shelf life due to the nanoparticle intervention, that may be another shelf life and it can be stored and they can be saved a lot. And apart from that, this technology is going to help for the saving the lot of energy. That the energies play a very important role, especially either cold storage you want to store. If any products, example milk, now the Tetra Paks and other products are saved because this is they having the different layers and having the different nanoparticles also they are embedded in it. That will be protecting our products. If otherwise we could have normally required to the chilling and cold storage or maybe refrigerator for the storage purposes.
Yes. Sir, what is your opinion about the nano fertilizers in agriculture? Can
you speak loudly, Sharan?
Sir, what is your opinion about the nano fertilizer in agriculture?
Yeah, presently our institute is already working on this nano fertilizers developments, and nano fertilizers is very important commodity is required. And thing is that we are making the availability is more to the crop. Any products we are developing, the intention is that we less quantity we can apply, but it should be available more to the crop, and that can grow. And it is already existing, and the water soluble, non-soluble types are different because many times we used to spread apply on the surfaces instead of water soluble directly to the roots, and it will be get maximum absorption, and it will also reduce the losses of environmental effects.
Sir, shall I take another 3 questions with your permission?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Sir, are there any regulations formed by FSSI regarding nanoparticles?
I don't know exactly, but I doubt there are any regulations they are marked because unless until international market can make, I doubt they made any regulation. I have not gone through it.
So recently they have made FSSI regulations for the nano technology and launched in the last December only.
Okay, then I have actually not read actually.
Yeah,
Sorry for that. Okay.
Yeah, they are launched, sir. Sir, is there any how nanotechnology can be used in the industry to decrease the cost of the process, like cheese processing or something like that?
See, first of all, the industrial cost production. One is the size reduction is the major important roles, and another thing is the cleaning, is the machinery. There is the second, and also the when the products is transporting from one place to another. In that case, if it is the coatings are properly done and it is transported to the industry, it will not spoil. When you actually visit the industries, 10 to 15% materials are wasted to the sorting, gradings and all. Those can be properly utilized, and that may be helpful for the increasing the profit, because even 1% loss means is huge. When the total annual turnout they take crores of rupees of investment will loss takes place. That may be the possibility can be explored.
Yes. If you are using silver nanoparticles for the packaging, is it not toxic to foods?
See, normally silver nanoparticles, if you anything usually in excess is the harmful. That we need to understand. And silver nanoparticle already example we are consuming the sweets, and the sweets also they are also in the layer of silver packaging they are using. Okay. And silver, it is not the new one, and it is using for ancient year. When you consume food in the silver material, it is good, and there should be in the normal, optimal conditions. As such, there is no harmful, I feel.
But again, it is all minimum residual limit. So minimum
limit. I know. Another thing that we are using very less amount in this nanoparticle. We are using very meager amount. That's why it is not going to much effects. But we need to explore the other studies with the human trials and all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there are companies like Amul and Nestle. They are using nanoparticles for production of the ice creams. Is it true?
I don't know exactly. I am not going to, but maybe using, because they're encapsulation, the materials they are using, many people,
Yes,
they may be using, and that what material nanotechnology or what nanoparticles they're using, I don't know, but definitely, because when you talk about chocolate,
yes, sir.
if you unless grind very fine, that aroma and taste will not come, and that is the nano arranging course. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How exactly nanoparticles are responsible for the biodegradation of the packaging material?
How
exactly nanoparticles are responsible for the biodegradation of the packaging material?
See, when we are incorporating any nanoparticles in this particular materials, that naturally it is as such degrading, and apart from that, it is having some characteristics. Okay, example, titanium dioxide. When come to UV lights, it will start reacting. When start reacting, it will be started breaking the compounds, and then it will helpful for the faster biodegradations, and also the reverse also. Sometimes when normal packagings or material start tearing or breaking, that will enhance this mechanical properties also. That what materials and how much quantity and in what materials, what ratio, and how you are adding, that plays a very important roles. And either you can increase or decrease, it is left to your experiments.
Okay, sir. There are live discussion with you. May I have Dr. Gopinath, sir? Can you unmute yourself? Dr. Gopinath, sir. Can you unmute yourself? Because I have made you a co-host, you can unmute yourself. Or Dr. Sampati. Dr. Gopinath is there? Yeah. Dr. Gopinath? Okay. Dr. Santosh, you can ask a question to Dr. Kadam. You can unmute yourself. Dr. Santosh? Okay. So I don't know what is their problem, because Dr. Gopinath has raised so many times. Sir, what is the absorption phenomena happen with the product with nanoparticles?
You are talking about the body absorptions or what?
Yeah, it is body absorption. Happen with the food product with nanoparticles.
How to check?
Yeah, because it's all depends upon how much the quantity of the material is absorbed. So it's all depends. If it is more, definitely it is going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yes, sir.
No, that is also depends upon the reactions, how it is performing, and
Yes,
what type of product, the base material and the nanoparticle. Both it will play important roles. It's not a single sided action.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there are so many questions are there, sir, in the chat box, and most of the things has been cleared, and most of the things have been answered by your side. So if any things is available in the chat box, definitely I will share with you, and the same thing will be conveyed to the participants. If anybody wants.
I also request all the participants, if required, the Sharan Kumar is also very expertise in this area. You can also talk to him, and he also very good to explain all the activities. And you are also most welcome to talk to me, or you can write to me, and I will try to explain whatsoever I know. And if not, I will come up to the going through the literature and all. I can come back to you.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. If no questions, no clarifications from the participants, thank you very much, sir, on behalf of the University of Physical Sciences, Raichur, and the Center for Nanotechnology. May I request Dr. Ramappa Keti for winding up the session. Dr. Ramappa, please.
Thank you, sir. It is very nice to sum up this topic. So thank you very much, sir, Kadam sir, for your nice as well as very informative explanation about the application of nanotechnology in food processing as well as food packaging. So you have formulated the topic in a very nice manner, starting from concept, so basic concept, and the history, how it evolved over the period of time, and so what are all the areas in which this nanotechnology can be applied, and even emphasized on. So what is the gap? So how the gap between government as well as the private that can be bridged, so in order to make this technology to be application friendly to the farming community. And we have elaboratedly explained about the application of nanotechnology in food processing. And in that, actually, we have so the sky is the limit. So because we have covered almost all aspects of application of nanotechnology in food processing. Mainly, it can be used as an anti-caking agent, geltizing agent, additives, and even nutraceuticals and enhancement of shelf life of food products and emulsification and encapsulation. Even as a very, I just thrilled to know the usage of nanotechnology as nanochellids in order to meet the nutritional requirement of the people, and even the control relay and even the food product development like that. So it can be so in a variety way this nanotechnology can be used in food processing. Under the same time, you have given a very nice information about the application of nanotechnology in packaging. So again, we have emphasized on the usage of nanotechnology in improving the properties of packaging materials. So it may be mechanical property or even other so the barrier properties. Again, we have touched upon the selective barrier property by the application of nanoparticles. The packaging materials can be made it selective permeable, so that so in a variety of way, so these the packaging material, the biodegradable packaging materials can be used for the application for almost all food materials, including fruits and vegetable. And we have also touched upon so how it can be used in smart packaging and active packaging, and even in the formulation of nano composite coating, and again traceability, as well as even in the application of nano sensors like that. So it is definitely a very eye-opening the presentation, so that so you have nicely covered all the aspects of the application of nano technology in processing as well as packaging. So thank you very much, sir. And on behalf on my personal behalf, and on behalf of College of Agriculture Engineering, and on behalf of University of Agricultural Science, Raichur, I wholeheartedly thankful for your presence as well as for accepting our invitation and explaining the application of nanotechnology in processing and packaging in a very nice manner. Thank you very much once again, sir.
Thank you very much for your giving me a opportunity to talk on this topic. Thank you very much, and I also thank to all the participants listening me, and also any experts working on that. We can have some collaborative work future and work on that aspects. Also guiding the students and all that can be done in future. Also, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ramappa, for the summing up the session in the morning session, which is started in the morning 11 a.m. And also, I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Kadam sir for sparing his valuable time, more than 1.5 hours. Now, the scheduled is 1.5 hours. Now it is almost 100 minutes. 100 minutes is completed. So thank you for your valuable time, which you have spared with us in the morning session and explaining all the aspects of food processing and packaging related. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, all the participants who have joined in the morning session for wonderful session, which is dealt by Dr. Kadam, sir. And this is the information to the participants. In the afternoon session, we have two speakers from the industrial side. So one is Dr. Amit Joshi. So he's going to explain on UV visible spectroscopy and its applications in nanotechnology. He's from Thermo Fisher. And there is a second speaker is going to explain on particle size analyzer and its applications in nanotechnology by Dr. Sandeep. He is from Malvan Systems, Bangalore. So the session will start sharp at 3 o'clock. Please join at 2:50 p.m. in the afternoon session. The same link can be used for the second session. For tomorrow's session, the link will be changed. For every day, there is a separate link which will be shared to you through the email, through your Telegram, and also through this particular Zoom app. Every day the session will be changed. So please join with us in the afternoon session at sharp 2:50 p.m. Take care. Goodbye. All the best. Thank you, Kadam sir.